It has been a remarkable series of events that just continues to evolve, and it's been no different over the weekend. Danny, you've been all over the latest developments, which have actually had the Churchill family, one of the most famous names in the game, brought into the whole saga.
Yeah, well, it's Rod Churchill sent a text message to Nick Pappas, the chairman of South Sydney, where he said a number of very harsh things about Latrell Mitchell. And today, to Rod's credit, he has actually apologised for those comments that were made in a text message to Nick Pappas. I asked, when I first learned about this, James, I asked Rod straight away to get on the front foot and apologise. That was on Saturday. He didn't do that. He's now done it a few days later after copping a lot of flack, and a lot of it, I think, very well deserved for the comments about Latrell, because they were poor in a lot of senses and bordering on disgraceful in other senses. So at least he's apologised, he's owned that, but it's just added to a very tumultuous and a very controversial situation at South Sydney, where they've lost a club legend in Sam Burgess because he didn't agree with the way things were going on with the coach, Jason Demetrio.
Will it have implications now for grand final day with the presentation of the Clive Churchill medal?
Well, I think that Rod has said that if he's not there, it's not a, you know, he accepts that. But I think the NRL have been pretty weak because they haven't come out straight away and just said, rightio, those comments unacceptable. There is no possible way that Rod Churchill can be presenting the Clive Churchill medal. And they should have, that's him giving it to Dylan Edwards last year. And he really, I think the NRL should have come out straight away and said he's not really wanted to do that anymore, and maybe a past Clive Churchill medal winner should be doing it. So I think the NRL should have acted far more quickly.
Does it need to change, Gal? Does the system need to change for the big stage?
Look, it probably does after his comments. Yeah, his comments weren't good. And look, with all due respect to Rod Churchill, it's a son of a great. You know, what weight does his opinion really have? I don't know why we're going on so much about it. I understand it's Denny's job to report it, and that's what he had to do. And whoever did, I think it was you who reported. I understand that has to be reported. That's your job. But with all due respect to Rod, he's a son of a great. His opinion shouldn't hold that much weight, I don't think.
The name does, though, Gal.
It does, but it's still the son of a great. It's his son. Like, what weight does he hold? He's got no job at South Sydney. He's got no job in the game.
He's got a job of putting the medal around.
Well, and I think that'll probably change. I think you'd find this year he may cop a couple of boos if he gets up on stage after what he said, which I don't think was right at all. So I think I think it will change.
Gus, how would you sum up the last 7 days for South?
Yeah, disappointing. You don't want to see any club going through this. My question is how did the text message, if it went to the chairman of South Sydney, end up in the media and so easily accessible to everyone? In my daily life in rugby league, I receive thousands of text messages from fans and people involved with the club and people involved with the game that are criticising players or criticising performances or results. And you would hope that none of them, those ones, ever make the light of day into the media. How did it make the media?
It's a good question, Gus. And look, I'm not going to reveal my sources on this, obviously, but what I will say was that I think this message was sent to several people, and obviously once it gets sent around a place, it can end up with a person like myself. I do. Can I just finish? One sec. I do think that South Sydney are of the belief that in some way, and this is going to cause a stir, that the Roosters helped this get out there, and they're playing this week. And I'm just saying that's a theory that's coming out of South. I'm not going to...
That's the Book of Feuds.
Here it goes.
I'm just warning you.
You're winding it up already.
I'm just telling you. Well, that's what's...
You've got to be winding that up.
Gal?
So someone at South has found a way to blame the Roosters for all this. Brilliant.
Correct.
That's just what we need for Friday night.
The Roosters somehow got their fingers on this text message that was sent between two phones.
There is a belief that's what's happened.
Yeah.
You realise you've just lit a week-long fuse.
So the Roosters did it. It's the Roosters who did it.
I'm not saying it is, but I'm just telling you that that's a theory that's coming out of South. Destabilised Latrell.
What a game.
So is this South trying to...
rugby league right here.
Wait on. Is this South trying to destabilise the Roosters and drag them into the fight, or is this throwing off onto the Roosters? What's Gus, the tactic here?
You're the mastermind, James. I'm not even going to... What do you think it is?
Hey?
What do you...
I asked you, how did it get into the media?
I'm just saying to you, that's a theory that's going around.
Yeah, but
and the Roosters obviously saying nothing to do with, nothing to see here.
Let me tell you, whether it be from ex-players, ex-coaches, current day members, current day chairman, ex-chairman, all that sort of thing, we receive thousands of text messages slandering players, slandering coaches, slandering people who work in the organisation and work in rugby league. We get them all day, every day when you're losing. All day, every day.
I think
but they don't. How do they find their way into the media?
100% with you on this one. Things like this shouldn't get out.
Yeah.
Within a professional organisation that's involved in the NRL, things like this should not get out.
Yeah,
and
right.
I've got no doubt, you're 100% right, there'll be thousands of text messages week in, week out, giving it to players, giving it to coaches.
Yeah.
But for this
I've seen text messages far worse than this.
Yeah, I agree, mate.
You
For
know.
this to have made the media the way it has, I think it's a really bad look on the South Sydney club or whoever's done it. I think it's a really bad look.
Well, it's inflamed by
For
the
everyone
timing.
involved.
It's inflamed by the timing, but it's also if it's been sent to multiple people, then there's more chance of
I think it was sent and then resent.
Well,
James,
yeah, mystery solved. It was the Roosters.
Wait, so the initial send-all sends it
Roosters
to
did
one
it.
person, but then it gets
I think it got resent when things started to go bad at Souths.
But isn't the person it was sent to, isn't he a lawyer?
Yeah, I'll say this, Nick Pappas did not.
Well, that's what I mean. He would understand, surely. He wouldn't be the guy who sent it on.
No.
There's only the one other phone that's got it.
Surely not. Yes. Okay. So we've clarified that. Hey,
Have we?
Intriguing stuff.
I just love that you've just gone cat, pigeons, Friday night. Let's go. It's just
The
brilliant.
book of few.
Yeah, nothing better.
The leaked text message.
The Friday night, Gus.
Chapter number 327. The leaked text message.